This feels so excessive because I've done so many lives, but I was having a moment. My partner and I were watching a movie, and I just had a really hard time being calm. I was just really distressed in my body, and I just had been trying to be present and breathe and stuff. And then we paused the movie, and so I started talking to him because he was like, "What's going on?" And then he encouraged me to do a live stream. He thought it was maybe a good idea to talk about on the live, to also just like further document what it's like. Like, I do have a lot of shame about being really neurotic and the things that stress me out, and I'm embarrassed about it. Like, I guess that's maybe the battle. It's just confusing to try to figure out. Like, I try, it's like I need to meditate, be calm and mindful and do breathing exercises, but sometimes when it's like so intense, it like that doesn't work. And I think sometimes I may be having certain beliefs and stuff that are further triggering the thing, like say the shame or some type of a judgment or a thought, that it does help to try to, for in my experience, to dissect it a little bit, about, to figure out like what is it about. Is it like I'm having this reaction and then I'm having this automatic reaction to the reaction, like the judgment of the shame of the thing, and then it's kind of making it even worse because I'm not even letting myself be affected. Like, I don't have control. But I think I did finally figure out, like, I didn't even know. If you've been seeing my channel and seen my live streams, or at least like the titles and that having to do with my hair, this whole thing, like, it didn't start with the hair. I'm realizing finally more of maybe this like theme of what's going on. I get really sucked into maybe specifics of, like, I get really specific and neurotic about a certain situation, or just like feel this like doom and gloom or certain anxiety about a thing that maybe happened. Like, I just feel really uncomfortable. It just, this hasn't happened for a while, like, kind of, sort of, sort of not, I don't know. It just, for years even, maybe, or a year or months, like, years ago now, I guess, or maybe a year or two ago, like before I started maybe actually being more of myself, I thought I was really calm and chill. Like, I felt less anxious in that. And maybe it's also like the food that I was eating. Maybe I was like doing better with like eating more healthy or something, but it's not all that. I feel like um it's just overwhelming because I don't know if I'm doing any more than what I would do. It's just like weird. There's other times in my life where I've like reached out to, like, okay, how this has to do with the hair stuff is, if you, it's hard to like recap the whole thing in this, but um basically it probably makes sense just to explain, so know what we're talking about. Like, the first, I had a I had an appointment to get my hair cut, and I wait like a decent amount of time to get my hair redone because it can be expensive. And so yeah, but I wait till it like, it's grown out and that, and it's just like causing me grief being really thick and grown out. So I do like really look forward to the haircut or whatever. So I had this appointment made, however long it took me to get in, with my regular hairdresser and that. Anyways, the first haircut just like went really not well. And then, God, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, I was kind of encouraged to do this. Not kind of. I was like highly encouraged to do this, and I was aware that I didn't need to do this or have to, but I thought maybe, I don't know, my partner explained too, like, maybe other people aren't as much seen. Like, it's obviously out there somewhere, but like, he just thought it could help people to show the full, like, more of the experience or what happens or what's going on. But I feel like that kind of is already out there and stuff, and like, what's the point of this? But anyways, the first haircut didn't go well, and then I reached out to my hairdresser. Okay, so I've been calling my former hairdresser Jill, to keep it anonymous, but so we're just gonna, when I say Jill, that is my hairdresser that did my hair the first time. And yeah, it just didn't go well, and it's fine, and it's hair, and it's whatever. But I think too, what recently more so happened is like, I guess I realized with that hairdresser, like, I slightly maybe mentioned this concept of like, I should have maybe switched hairdressers sooner, but because like our personalities maybe weren't clicking as much, but like at least she did my hair well, so it's fine. And I don't need to be that sensitive either, that I am though just so sensitive to people's energy, or I couldn't help but conform, I guess, in a way. Like, I really, because of the anxiety, but then also just like the shame and stuff, I will just energetically make myself small or feel kind of small or feel like I have to kind of conform in a way. And excuse me, I guess as like more goes on and time goes on, it's like affecting me more. Like, excuse me, the last live stream I did, like, so I had mentioned too that Jill, in the past, there was like a different situation that she just like never answered my text about like how to book, like what appointment to book. She only answered it when she had someone, I guess, cancel and just wanted to get me in. Like, it's just like, I'm paranoid. I'm actually super paranoid. Other people do story times and talk about stuff, but like the people pleasing thing is like everywhere, and it's so fucking annoying. I'm over it. I'm so over it. It's like, I don't even want to talk about this person in my perspective and my experience because I'm paranoid that somehow she's gonna find this or see this. Like, I don't think that would even happen. But there's like this guilt or people pleaser thing attached, even when I'm sharing just like my perspective of how I feel, you know. I just hate overly caring about other people's feelings, and so it's just been causing me more stress. Like, it's a mix of like being upset about, now it's been like, I never ever expected her, like, I think I first messaged her last night at like 9 p.m. about how the haircut really, I said it in such a nice way, and it was like very people pleasery, but like I felt like she hardly cut my hair and stuff. If you've seen there's a live stream if you want to know more of the details, if you haven't seen it, just about well, it's just called like, I hate my haircut or whatever, and that very much explains it. And but the thing was, it was just really confusing and weird because I felt like it was just the truth, like she hardly spent any time cutting my hair. It was just like, I had never had that experience with her doing my hair before. Like, she at least would do it a certain, like, layer it out. Like, I don't know, I was just sort of like, what? It looked so not like the photo I gave at all or anything. Like, it was just a really, really drastic, like, going from her doing this nice haircut and stuff, it's like expensive salon and that, to like not, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just embarrassing. My brain, I don't know why, I just like got weird, like, yeah, I get a little bit offended. Like, whatever, she didn't do the cut, whatever. It was already just confusing. I was just shocked at how, yeah, I've said this in the other live streams too, sort of about the situation, about just like realizing what it was like, because I was searching for another hairdresser to fix it, like being asked, like, does this look okay? Or that, like, she just saw the picture, was like, okay, and then I couldn't even really see it or like tell if it was good or not. And then it so happens it's whatever, because I don't like my hair blow dried, so I can't even exactly see what the cut looks like because I leave her salon. I leave her salon with my hair still kind of drying, like she just scrunches it, diffuses it, whatever. I get home, I realize it's not up to par, obviously, and here I am just telling the whole story all over again because it's gonna be confusing probably if I don't. But this is just neurotic ramblings. Click off, please, if this is just wasting so much of your time. I did end up texting her that night. Like, first of all, so much stupid fucking stress about, first of all, imposing. Like, I don't even want to text her the night of. Like, I wait till a certain point in time, and then I was like, honestly, maybe I really should just like wait till the next morning to not bombard her and stuff and impose, or like her. It's all just like really obsessive about her life and how she feels and stuff, and like I just sort of fed into it because she has a bit of an energy of like, I've said this in the other live stream about, there has always been some type of a thing going on with her in a way. Like, and then I even feel bad or guilty like saying that I'm complaining that, but like some of these things are, she's obviously having like it's not really as serious, like some of the situations than other, like there's a spectrum to the things, or like it's just I just involve myself too much. Like, okay, the time before this time there was like another crisis thing that happened. Like, she lost this fanny pack that had money in it, and like she lost her ID and stuff, and so I literally give her this like $25 tip or something, like that's at least that I can't even remember. Like I probably clicked like the highest tip percentage on the machine, and my haircut and the gloss and everything already cost like $100 and something dollars, like $160 something dollars, I don't know. And like I gave her a tip, a really big tip, just so that she'd like me more. It's really embarrassing and manipulative, and I just felt bad about I don't know, she like lost this money, but she seems to be doing quite well with money. But like other times I've encountered her, it's like she gets really, really stressed about it and like money and stuff. But then the last time I was there, like when she finished my haircut, usually she's doesn't like, it's pretty also like rushed. There's not like not time to like sort of assess how the cut looks. So she happened to finish early. She actually happened to finish early the last time I was there because the next appointment actually was arriving late. So because they were coming late, we had some time. And so what happened in the time is she gave me like this grand tour, kind of, I guess she has like an Airbnb next door. She's like too sweet. It's like a super nice property and everything. Like, that's been built and everything and this and that. And then like, I guess she was really stressed about I still feel like guilty about talking about it and like, why am I so consumed with this person's life? But I guess this is what we're doing. Like, I'm just explaining like for like what happens when you're someone that like enmeshes with a person. Like it's not healthy. It's like, what the fuck is going on? But anyways, one of the stresses the last appointment was that excuse me, there was like this motorhome or a camper, like a trailer thing, a camper that like you would attach maybe to like a truck or something. Like her ex, I guess, like they shared it or something, and then he decided that she I don't know, he was supposed to take it, but then he just was like, oh no, it's yours, but it had something broken on it, like the taillights were broken, so it shouldn't have even been driven at all, because if you're driving on the road at all, like you wouldn't have any signals or anything like that. So she was just all stressed because it got just like dropped off at her place. All of a sudden, like he drove it at night, or she didn't want that like, now I don't know, she lives in a place that like she can't just like have it sit there. She doesn't have space to like keep it, but she does, because she was like, oh well, then I talked to my friend, and my friend was like, oh for sure, there's all this space, and like, but she was all like stressed about this motorhome thing, or the fact that like she couldn't get it up to par. Like, I guess it was supposed to be renovated in a way. And then this is one of the things where I think I maybe mentioned something about like it feeling sometimes like she is taking offense to something I'm saying when I'm not at all like criticizing her at all, but like I've just picked up on different things in her personal life. That's just my perception of stuff, but also like things she's shared, certain things, I've heard certain things that like I know she can be self-critical or have insecurities or something, or like I notice these things, or how she talks about things, or so stressed about things, or like not doing enough, and she's very much, in my opinion, like a workaholic, overworks herself and this and that, and like that's why I felt like, well, she was like cutting my hair with a broken finger one time and would not cancel the thing. I'm like, I'm totally fine to switch this appointment, and she was just like, oh, I might like lose my finger, but like, oh well, and I might have nerve damage and this and that, and then like it did affect my hair, like I was getting it sort of dyed, and it kind of, she was really I think that was the time I was gonna dye it. Honestly, now I've been saying that, but honestly, I might have been getting a cut that time. I swear to God, there's always something. It's not her fault, I guess. But anyways, back to the motorhome. Like, I start to get like too involved in like caring about. I don't know, the way that she had come off was that like she's really in a crisis, like has no money almost, but like she has this like really nice thing, and then this motorhome she was all stressed about. And then I guess, oh sorry, I was gonna say one of the things that I thought maybe she was getting, thought that I was criticizing her when I wasn't, is because like also she'll say things and then it's my own stuff for feeling like a dumb idiot. Like these are things that I've been like dissecting too, of like my immediate feelings like stupid or whatever versus the reality. Like she'll just say things, and sometimes with not a lot of context, or she says like certain terms that like I ask for clarity in a way. Like there's a lot of things going on and stuff in her life, and this thing and that thing and that, and then she's talking about this like motorhome and that, and then like how they had to gut the whole thing, or the renos, or this and that, and the current situation of it, and how it's stressful and this, and she was like, oh yeah, you know, you couldn't even go in there with like without getting a tetanus shot, or, and I didn't know that was like past tense, so I just was like, oh, has it not, is it sort of, oh, you gotta gut it now, or something like that. That's maybe the gist of what happened. And then she started just like saying things she'd already said, like over explaining, which is something that I do. Like she was like, oh well, we couldn't, or I have no money to do that, and this and that, and I was like, oh yeah, no, of course, I'm not saying you should have, or this is like, I don't know. It was just like these like personality dynamics have been stressful because like the first time I went to her, I felt so awkward because just so she's from the States, and her partner at the time is from Canada, but I like, he came in the hair studio or something, and briefly he like brought her lunch, and it sounded like he had an accent, like it sounded like he had a southern accent or something, and somehow my mind thought like he's the one, I mixed it up, I thought he was from the States. So then he left, and that was like, oh, like where from the States is he, or something like that, and just like, oh, he's not, or, and I don't know, my brain was like weird and confused, and there was like country music playing. I was like, oh, do you guys like listen to a lot of country music or something? Like I just thought that he had a bit of a accent. I don't know, people where I am, like my family has a certain accent, like a certain Canadian accent, but I could be wrong, but it seemed like she got offended like when I asked that, and that was definitely something that I like so ruminated on after, and thinking like she's not gonna like me, or like think that I'm judging her or something. Like I just sense this like but then like other things I say, like she really values it, or like I went in one day and she had shorter hair, I guess she had her extensions taken out, and I was like, oh, I like your hair, it's short, it's nice. And then she was working on someone else's hair, and then when they left, it was just me and her because she started my hair. And then she's like, I really, really appreciate like you saying that my hair looks nice, like my short hair, because I guess she said she was a bit self-conscious about the short hair and that. And then I was like, oh yeah, like, oh, oh yeah, it really suits you, and that and this. And then I don't know, I'm like worried of offending her. Like it's just these automatic things in my head being like, oh no, am I almost like dissing the, like it was just like a bit much where you're like, oh yeah, no, the short, I just thought it suited you and that. And I'm like, not that the long hair didn't suit you or look good though, and like they both look good and that, and like I I guess the vibe I do pick up on with her is it feels sometimes slightly passive aggressive, and there's comments she's made about like she's frustrated about certain things like her skin or something, and she'll give me compliments or stuff and be like, oh, you have, like, your skin's great though, and that, and like not actually that passive aggressive in a way, but like I just like feel uncomfortable. It's honestly probably me trying to like make myself small, like I feel bad for that in some way, like I feel bad. And then this last appointment, she was, when she was cutting my hair, it was like sticking to my face or something, and I was like, oh, she was like, oh, let me get that like sticking to your face, and I was like, oh, I put like sunscreen. I should have known because I put, excuse me, all the sunscreen on too, that like it's sticking because I put this stuff on my face or whatever. And then when I said sunscreen, it was, I guess, like alluding to that product that had to do with skin. Like I just was saying, oh, it's because I have sunscreen on. She was like, she started saying how, yeah, I can't with this, like I can't do the skin stuff. Like I can't be spending like $300 at Sephora for this. Like I've just sort of given up on my skin. Like I know she's like had the self-consciousness about her skin because she has like some acne stuff, but I don't know, just sometimes like the response to what I say, and like the one time I felt like early on, like I talked a little bit about my life in here and there, and then like one of the times I said a thing about something going on in my life, and it was just awkward because she didn't say anything. Like it just was like sort of crickets. And so yeah, I guess there's like other things too that I just got, it's like it kind of came back after this situation of feeling like she, like maybe she didn't see my texts. I did send multiple texts, and then even after I sent them, I said sorry for all the dings, like I hope if your ringer's still on, like sorry for all the dings, like this is what I sent like last night. And then I just still no text like all day today. There's no response, and like yeah, sometimes people take a bit to respond here and there, but like, and I just, I'm with the texting, I'm not a texter at all, and I don't expect people to respond, but it's different because this is her like business. This phone is what I think it's just her normal cell phone, but she uses it for her hair salon business and everything like that. And like I just, the annoyance of just realizing like how much I conform and then getting mad about having done that, or that like I don't know how else to deal sometimes. Like it's just too stressful to not yeah. And there's like one thing that kind of like little essences of things happening in different appointments, right? And then like feeling just a certain way because like I let it get to me in some way, or just like picking up more maybe of her personality, or like what is going on here. I don't know. Like one of the things was, well, I am just high anxiety and stress and stuff too. But it seems like she also is and stuff. There's like always a lot going on. But I get like a gloss in my hair, and she had done a bit of blonde at the end like one time, but then I wanted to actually mask that because it just wasn't going as much. Like I kind of wanted to blend in with like just diet, like not diet, like gloss. I couldn't figure out exactly what gloss was, so I was just trying to ask her like specifically. I was just like, can gloss make the blonde dark though? Like it doesn't it just tint it or something? And she just kept saying something general like you can get, like you can make it do whatever you want it to do kind of thing. And I was like, okay, but does it actually make it as dark as whatever? And that, you know, when they don't like just say yes or no, they just like, and so, and I just was like, I just couldn't decide. Like I just thought it was I just get it like, I'm like, oh, I'm like too much for people and being annoying or something. And I think I just said like, sorry, I get confused because we had like been in this back and forth just like for a sort of little bit, and I'm trying to figure out and decide like what color I want. And even just trying to decide if I want like, she's like, do you want warm or neutral? And I don't know. It just I think at one point I was just like, because I was trying to get a straight answer, I just said yeah, sorry, I get confused or something. She's like, yeah, I know, or something like that. Or like you do, or I can't remember what she said, but it just felt slightly, what's the word? Slightly belittling, which it's whatever. But I don't know, just these multiple things added up, like sharing something about my life that happened that was like, I was just like, oh, so guess what happened like the last time I was here? Like I had gone out of the country, and then because of some sort of family thing I had to go like back to that same country after I come back. It was kind of like a crazy thing that happened. So I was like, oh, this thing like happened, and that's the thing that she like didn't respond at all to. But I've been there for her when she was like going through a divorce. I've been there for her when she lost the fanny pack with the money, when this other thing happened, when like her um uh, mother sort of in-law had a bit of a health thing going on, and it was sort of stressing her out, and she was like wondering if she should cancel the rest of her appointments, and then she didn't, and then it was sort of okay. But yeah, it's just, I don't know why we're rambling about this whole thing. I guess I'm just having a weird experience, and I get embarrassed about how much, I guess, someone affects me. But the thing is, it's I get like mad at myself for, it's like the same, it's a similar thing that kind of happened with my last counselor, where I was like, it's just like I sort of allowed myself to be, it's just really hard because it's like no one was treating me wrong or anything like that, but like I didn't maybe be my real self, or I can't, like I'm not as capable. I'm just like anxious in certain, like I just freeze up. I just like go along. I just placate, right? Obviously I do like the placating, the people pleasing thing in a way, because even that makes me so uncomfortable. I was just so stressed and uncomfortable about like sending her those messages that I'm going to be imposing on her, that, excuse me, I'm just going to cause her some level of stress, even though she's the one that like totally hardly cut my hair at all. And I did feel a little bit friggin' cheaped out of paying for this expensive haircut, and then I'm just expecting her like not to answer me for, I just get more a little bit annoyed the longer I'm sort of not answered. And then I have this like weird power thing within me of like just the feelings that start coming up in a way are sort of like fuck this, like why did I even conform myself to like put up with, obviously like put up with like other things, like other times that maybe it's like the hair wasn't that up to, like you wouldn't let me cancel, and you insisted on doing my hair with like a broken finger in a way, and it's like, yeah, I wasn't like pleading for her to cancel, but I was suggesting these things. Like even when I just say that right now out loud, I'm like, well, I wasn't like, can we cancel? Can we cancel? I was just like, hey, I can come another time. Like, it's just all this guilt, stupid shit, and I hate it. And the latest is to just go on with the saga and the ramblings. So, the very last live stream, I was cutting my hair myself. The live stream before that, I was saying how I was going to go to a different hairdresser because I just was trying to figure out what even to do. Like, it's like the first hairdresser, like Jill should fix it, but I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to be around her energy anymore, and I was like concerned of her maybe getting like, it is hard to have a client maybe not be satisfied. Like, I just thought it wasn't gonna go well. I don't know. I happened to read a review the other day, and she doesn't have that many negative reviews, but there was a review about a certain thing, and I just thought like, oh, she might, I don't know, I just thought she might be like, oh, well, it looks that way because you like brushed it out, or because like it like convinced me that it's really is how it's like. I thought I was gonna just like get like mildly gaslit or something like that, and we don't know if that's gonna happen. But anyways, yeah, I just couldn't decide if like I should wait around to see if she responds to fix it, because I thought she's so busy booked up that I'm not even gonna get in. Anyways, I decided to go to another hairdresser, as people may know, and then the second time went better, but I still didn't get the hair I wanted, because the second girl was more, she was quite cautious, because I want like a wolf cut sort of thing, and so then I cut it myself. And then the newest update, guys, the newest update, because I was just gonna deal with it. I was just gonna deal with it, but I don't like it. It's like, it's weird. It's obviously a little bit better. Like, I made it tolerable. Honestly, it sucks how many hundreds of dollars this is fucking taking, and like whatever. I can't care or stress about that, because it's just what's happening. But it is like, I guess everything happened for a reason, like as they say. But I basically, I wouldn't like, okay, so I made another fucking appointment. The second hairdresser said, those types of layers that you want aren't my specialty for the wolf cut. I'm not showing the, you're just gonna have to have seen the other videos to know the certain specific cut I was going for, because I don't even have the other phone to show the photo again. But she said that wasn't her forte, whatever. And so she was like, so if you don't want to continue, like, I totally respect that, it's fine, and this and that. And said, oh, what I could do is sort of just like round it out, or she had these suggestions of what she could do. And then I asked, is there someone at the salon that would specialize more in the types of layers, the cut that I want? And she's like, yes, like the owner, but she is kind of pretty booked up. So and also, people pleaser me. At the time, I was really having a hard time with the first initial cut, and every time I looked at that friggin' cut, I did get triggered because of the personality. Like, it wasn't just about the hair. I still get triggered looking at the back, because the second hairdresser didn't, I should have maybe spoke about, oh, is there something you could do for the back? Like, put some layers so it's not just like all this like one long thing. Like, this just really, because this hasn't been altered, I think of just like Jill and the lack of what she did, and get annoyed and look at it, and just like these other feelings sort of come up in regards to that whole thing. And then I remember how, like, is she ever gonna do I deserve a friggin' text back, having just like shitty hair like that looks like shit? Like, I felt like the photo emulated, in my opinion, it looking nothing like the picture she gave. Like, I sent my hair how she did it, and then sent the original. I was like, oh, I found like a video of the haircut of the first thing, and then also here's like one other example. I didn't show the time. It's like hard to get like exactly what the style was, so I only showed the one video. And I was like, oh, maybe I should have showed a few different examples. And like, and I was not even attacking her at all. And I said, I said I was happy to compensate her for the extra time spent, which is not true. Like, it's bullshit, because she should have done it at least more accurate the first time. But anyway, so yeah, when I see this, I get I feel a little bit weird. So anyways, the second hairdresser, because it was like, I need to get this done, I just wasn't willing to wait. So I went with the recommendations, and then you saw what happened the last live. If you saw it, me cutting my own hair, because the second time it just still was not, it was so heavy. Like, the issue had been the heavy in the midsection or whatever. And I told the second hairdresser that, and I was talking, Ashley was doing that and being a bit concerned about, like, can you take some of this like chunkiness out a little bit? And like, I don't know, there was just like concerns about that. So I get or I do the haircut. I'm kind of okay. I'm like, okay, it's better, and that it's good enough, whatever. And then I just like still can't let it go. Like, this whole friggin' day is like petty and ridiculous, like stressed about my hair, but obviously not just about the hair. And prior to this whole stupid hair situation, I had like a 3 or 4 day long vulnerability hangover from, I talk about this in different live stream, I think, called I don't know, who cares. I was being, I guess, more authentic or sharing. I like had this whole thing going on, stuff going with my family relationships and all that, and like actually being more making boundaries with my family and stuff. And then I got so icky and uncomfortable about that because I wasn't just people pleasing anymore, but I had a whole reaction to not doing the normal behaviors, like the normal, like stuff that keeps me so feeling way more safe. Um, and someone had a very accurate comment of what was happening, like getting all triggered about that is because like after, yeah, just thinking like the other shoe's gonna drop or something, like something's gonna happen, now that I've shared, or like then feeling all bad about having had issues with my family even in the first place, like because talking with one of my family members, like with a mediator, and having it go really well and stuff was just like shocking to me. So then I got the biggest ick vulnerability hangover. Like I felt like so ick about myself because it went well, and then my body wanted to like it was like, what, that's something still must be wrong with me, I guess, or like I don't know, it's just like this whole identity thing. So I don't know, this live is probably one of the weirdest ones yet, but I couldn't relax. I was okay with the hair sort of after I cut it, it was better. And then I was like, had it in an updo, and then I went like, my poor fucking partner that has to deal, I'm actively feeling so stressed about the hair, like worrying what it actually looks like. I was worrying about when I shower what it's gonna look like. I like spritzed some rose water in it, like combed it out and tried to like fluff it up to see a bit more. Like obviously this is not what I exactly wanted or intended. Like it's good enough, but I hate another trigger, if we want to talk about having a million triggers, is like being stuck with something. Like you cannot get this fixed, like, and you're not gonna like it and have to deal with it. I've mentioned it just feels petty because I know kids are starving and have no food, but it feels petty to bring this up again about like one time as a kid, like being able to pick the color of my room, because we're moving to a new house, and then like them totally getting the color wrong, and it being like I wanted a light blue, a baby blue, and they did like this really great, this misery I was depressed already like in this house, and it just sucked having a color that just felt so grim. It felt so grim, and it's like I didn't even, I could have like took on painting. I had a friend that like painted her room, and like maybe I should have done that, but my confidence was so low. I was so broken. I was so anxious, so depressed. I just like wanted to die. And so I didn't have the wherewithal to like take on painting my own room, I guess. And so I did feel like I'm stuck with this until I leave this house. And so for years, it's like I felt annoyed having to see that same stupid blue, like always hating my room, and like having I just hated the furniture, but like, you know, it was given to me by my grandma, or like the aesthetic, like nothing was matching, nothing was like looking, I just hated being surrounded by grossness. And that's also why I can't finish painting my room, because it's like I act like if something happens I don't like I choose a certain color for the inside of the closet or whatever. Like I've been contemplating painting my door like black instead of white, like the walls or something. Like I get so neurotic about it because I like have this body feeling or something of like that I'm stuck with it. Like logically I fucking know that I could just fix it, but then again, like it does cost money, and I do stress so much about that, and I just will be thinking like a million steps ahead of like I can't make the fucking decision. I hate it. I can't like commit, I guess. I can't follow through. Like there's a reason why I've been avoiding finishing painting my room and like holding off on just like there's like such an anxiety or something about like committing, like the commitment part of it. So, but I'm sure as hell not committing to this hair. I was like, I just can't, I couldn't deal with the thought of being stuck with it and like for months. And then honestly, the other annoying issue is me and my partner are getting married, and we're deciding, we first thought of doing this in October, like in Vegas. And, but then I was like, because I'm thinking ahead, guys. I'm like, I don't want to have the anniversary in October. Like, Vegas is, though, nice in October. Like, I've gone one other time in the middle of summer, scorching heat. It's uncomfortable. Like, there's all the tourists there and stuff. Because my partner's on a sabbatical sort of deal, he has, like, he can do it, you know, not just in the summer when he has his time off. So it was like, oh, October would be perfect because of the weather and because of the tourists and because of this and that. And but then I'm like, I don't want to have the anniversary be every October, and he's not going to have his time off then. Like, if we want to have a nice other type of celebratory trip at some point for it, it's just like such a sucky month for, like, to commemorate the day and everything. And our birthdays are, I don't know, I was just thinking, oh, would it be fun to have it around our birthdays, because our birthdays are really close together. They're like June 11th and 15th. So honestly was like, oh, maybe we should just wait a whole nother year so that we could, like, line it up in between our birthday. Like, it's so neurotic. But anyways, he suggested doing this in July, and even, like, quite soonish. Like, and then I remembered I hated my hair. I didn't even relate it, but, like, I was already tormented by my day-to-day life with the hair that I didn't even remember. Well, I guess we recently decided and changed this date, actually, actually probably today, and then it didn't even click with the hair yet. And then it clicked. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm like, oh no, I'm like, this is a whole nother element. And, like, now I don't want to get married and, like, have photos hating my hair. So I feel like strongly, especially now, I'm like, I need to get this fixed and fixed soon. Like, if we're gonna be in Vegas, like, July 20th, like, and I'm still with this hair, so I'm like, I need to. So yeah, I did book another appointment. But, and then finally my stress went down, but then it went back up just from the crazy vulnerability. Okay, this is the next neurotic thing. I have to pee so bad though, but I need to just, like, finish the full neuroticism because it's fucking nuts. But I will be right back. LOL, I'm, like, in the bathroom, I take a quick look at my hair and I'm like, hey, it actually is kind of fun. Like, it doesn't look that bad. Like, maybe I should just keep it. Like, what the fuck? What? This is what it's like. This is what, yeah, it's up and down here and there. It's crazy. So what was I getting at? The wedding thing, the appointment. Oh, there was, like, a specific thing. Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. It's been on so much thinking today and so much stress. Like, it's like a miracle that I'm somewhat coherent. And then I'm gonna blank again just now and then, like, not remember what I was gonna say. But, okay, you know how I said the second hairdresser mentioned that the owner of the salon knew the haircut and everything like that. So I thought at first, I'm like, I couldn't possibly just get right into her. Like, I need to wait however many months to first offload, like, the financial stress. And it's just like, how many haircuts can you have in a matter of, like, a couple weeks? So, but I decided I needed to, the possible, well, very possible now, wedding thing going on in July. I was like, I gotta book something. And then my partner, God bless him. Oh, also I wanted to mention my hormones are friggin' raging. So that's another factor going on. And I know I'm not doing all the right things. Like, I need to be going to the gym and this and that, but like, we're not having fucking judgment and shame about it. Like, I haven't been keeping up with it. I haven't been keeping up with everything. I've been managing. I've been trying. I'm always fucking trying. And it's like, I've been trying. And so it's annoying. Like, but I know I could be feeling better if I was also doing this other thing. But I've been trying to meditate. I've been trying to do, like, you can't do it all. And it is annoying because, like, there's people I feel that have zero anxiety, don't exercise hardly, eat unhealthy food, are quite overweight, and like they don't have the neuroticism and anxiety that I have. So what is it even? But where were we? So, oh yeah, my partner was like suggesting getting my hair cut in Vegas, and I'm like, he's like, oh, it could be so fun. And I was like, it's like freaking out right away. And like I was being bitchy too, and it's because it's just the hormones. And I'm just like, what are you thinking? Like, how am I supposed to, like, I've just found sort of who the expert is with the layers, but I haven't even like tried it yet. And I'm not going to go to a whole different friggin' country and expect to, and go to a random ass fucking person in a totally different country, and they're gonna be able to figure out, and it's gonna be okay. And it's gonna be a total disaster if this is like literally the day before the wedding. And also, I'm like, I want to have it done before we even like get there on vacation at all. And I just don't want to be like so stressed and worried like that. And he was like, oh yeah, of course, whatever. But like, he did try to sell it to me. He tried to sell me on it. And he even was saying something like I'm so stressed about, he was even talking something about how, oh, maybe we could take you to this like fancy place, and like, and even if it costs like $500 to get the cut, I was like, no way in hell, I'm not gonna pay 500, like, and that's just so unnecessary. And but like, that's so nice of him to offer, but like, I'm just bitchy and being rude, being like, that, like, what are you saying? Like, that's horrible. Like, it's so sad, like, how unappreciative I am as well. But anyways, I'm like that. I can't with the stress. So what finally eased my anxiety until the vulnerability issues like flared up again, and then the pre-planning, the anticipatory anxiety, was I booked a full-on haircut, but they do free consultations at this new place. Jill, I believe, she like charges for consultations, so it's actually nice at this new place, like you can actually go and like have time and talk about things. And it did say that these consultations are usually for like dyeing your hair, like, you know, balayage, like more fancy stuff. But like I definitely need a good amount of time, I feel, to like, explain my story, show the photos. Like I just like, it'll be way less stress to like be able to consult with the owner of this salon, who's apparently like the layer expert. So, and I got a consultation in a week to talk, and then the week after, so in 2 weeks from now, it's like 13 days, I think it's July 3rd, is I did book an appointment. And I can, if I want, for some reason, because I was all stressed about the money, but I was like, I can consult with her, like I have this time too, that, well, you can cancel it like 48 hours before your appointment, but it's kind of nice that I can like get a vibe of her energy. Like I have this consultation in a week, and then we can talk for 20 minutes, and I can express what I want in this, and like, hey, and can you do this with my hair and this, and then, you know, get a take on the energy or vibe if it feels right. And then I have another like 7 days to even decide if I want to follow through and stuff like that. So that really calmed me. And then, you know what happened? And then, you know what started to happen? That's really fucked up and like annoying as fuck, because I need a break. Is like the lady who's very sweet and nice and everything that did my hair today. This is a crazy, I'm like, was that today? Like, it feels like a century ago. It's been crazy. But that was today. That was at 1:30 p.m. today. It feels like days ago now, but it just happened because it's like, and then I did my own haircut right after. Like, this whole haircut saga has been going on for what feels like forever, but it's really not. It's just crazy how much has been happening in this like short amount of time. That's like really, it's just too many emotions for me. But yeah, what happened was I was worried about because, okay, on the website they do say, before I made the appointment with like the owner expert, there was multiple different thoughts. There was like, and options too. Do I just leave it? Do I, they say like they have a policy where it's like if you aren't satisfied, like contact them within 72 hours, and it looks like they'll fix it. And then underneath though it says refunds, and then it says like if the stylist didn't do what you asked for, or it says like you can't get a refund, but like they will fix it or something and have someone redo it. And like I just don't like, she didn't not do what I asked for, because she suggested, like she was like, no, I'm not comfortable doing the full wolf cut and stuff like that. Like it's not like she didn't do a thing that I was agreed that she would do. So I don't, and I also, because she's not comfortable with the layers and stuff, like I wasn't gonna get the original person to try and fix it, I guess. But I did contemplate like, oh, because I sort of cut it a bit more, and it's like I'm not scared of the wolf cut. She was more scared maybe of like how intense it would be and if I'd like it or not, but also her abilities of doing the layers. But I thought maybe since like I took a little bit out of what she did, there's this more shape of this thing that I was getting at, and then it's like, oh, I can just say, oh, could you, like, I don't know, there was an option of, because it sort of would be free of charge, but then I felt bad too, because I'm like, well, she kind of did what we agreed. She already said she could do the wolf cut, whatever. And then I have a thought, and then I'm just like going back to like, I guess there's an option, like if Jill eventually gets back to me, like, do I go back there? And then my partner, Sean, was like, I think she'd be offended, like, and she probably would, and who cares in that. But then I also was like, oh yeah, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. But then later on, I'm like, well, boo-hoo, like, you didn't even answer me. I get to do what I want. Like, who gives a shit if I did end up going to someone else, and then I did try to do it myself, and you're all offended that I decided to go do that in my time that I didn't get a response. Yeah, I fully was like, maybe I should get Jill to, like, if she is willing, if she gets back to me and says she'll fix it. But then it was like, okay, no, we can't do that. So, God, it's not making sense. It's not following a direct path, the ramble, and it's confusing me, frankly. It's actually confused. I'm more confused than ever. But because we keep going on like all these different details and tangents and stuff, and like a lot of them probably don't matter at all, and then like some sprinkle a little bit of like pizzazz into the conversation and some or whatever, but like sometimes it's just like so much unnecessary details. Like I am just like that too, and with information and research and investigating things, it's like I'll just have so much useless information. I'll just know random facts about random things that are kind of useless, that sometimes I maybe try to force into conversations, and it's like, who gives a shit, and it's annoying, it's useless. But yeah, what my brain, we still didn't get to the thing. It's been like a 5-minute lead up to what the thing is that I originally had intended to say, that I really dramatized and was like, now this fucking happened, is me feeling bad about seeing the last lady that I saw. When I get if I see the owner and I have the consultation, I felt so satisfied and happy. Here we go again with this tangent, whatever, but like I do need to prep it. I just like want to set the stage here. I felt finally at peace that like I can calm down. Okay, I booked this appointment stuff, and I'm gonna have that consultation, whatever. It's all perfect. It's like so great, so perfect. And then I have a stupid fucking thought about, what if I see, let's just call her Vanessa, the last girl that did my hair at the new salon, not the first one, but the one that like was worried about doing the actual wolf cut. I'm like, what if I see Vanessa at the salon that she also obviously works at, that told me about the owner, like while the owner's, like, it's been a week after. I'm like, and then just my people pleaser self, right, is just like feeling bad, like just feeling so ick. It's just like, and she even suggested like if you want to get it fit, like the owner or whatever, another time. I don't know. I just feel so I just feel a weird way about like going a week later and not saying anything to her, and like it doesn't matter, like it's my hair and I want to do what I want with it. And I still like gave Vanessa like a $15 tip because she was really nice. And it's like, but I feel guilt or bad, or like I'm gonna hurt her feelings or something if I like decided right away to go to the owner. I guess initially she suggested, or if you want to like go to the owner, right? But then after she finished my hair and stuff, she was like, what did she say? she was kind of like, oh, and then next time we can da 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 da, like implying that I would work with her again or something. Like, I had one haircut with her. Like, why is this a breakup for me? Why is this like a breakup? It's not. It's so weird. It's so embarrassing and weird. Like, not wanting to offend people. Yeah. And it's fine. And then it's like, why do I care? And then the only thing that like made me slightly calm down at that point in time when I realized that thought was like, it's a week away from the consultation, and the consultation is at like 5:30 p.m. and like maybe Vanessa won't be there because it's like that kind of the end of the day and this and that. And yeah, that was like the only thing that sort of provided me with relief. And then but it didn't really. I had like a moment, and then my partner and I, like, we're getting to like real time now, and we're gonna shut this fucking thing off because it's nuts. And now I'm like deciding if this was at all a good idea what I did, because it's like really really extra confusing. And yeah, but I was we were like watching a movie, and I for a moment I like got a little bit into the movie and had a bit of relief, because I've just been wanting this sort of like relief. Before the movie, I think I just sat and tried to just like be there in the silence and kind of meditate, and I probably really didn't give it a full effort, but my body's in like such distress that I can't even dissociate into a show. I thought maybe I should try to play a video game, because the other day when I was feeling like this type of intense stuff, the only thing that helped was like playing a video game and then also listening to something like while I was playing the video game, like a podcast. And it's not because like the one podcast has not been enough for certain specific intense situations. And when I do this too, like I'm aware that a lot of the time I've been like way too much consuming the content and stuff like that. But other times I've been trying to really not have it on this, but it's like I just feel like a lot of times I can only handle and tolerate so much of this like persistent, constant stress all day, that I'm just looking for a little bit of relief, like escaping into a show or something. But it's like really difficult when just what happened before I started filming was I just couldn't do that. Like I just was like, and I wasn't even having any thoughts or anything like that, and because I was also just trying to like let it go and just be present, but I just like carried this like stress in my body, and it just like something just felt wrong. And then that's when I was like explaining to my boyfriend, like I just feel, now it's gone, thank God. I'm sorry, this is like how painful it was. If somehow people watch this, I'm embarrassed, but like somehow I moved that energy by like doing what I did right here, because it's gone, and I'm like trying to remember what it was, because I was gonna talk about it. But yeah, it was just this like, I don't know, it's just intense. Like I'm just feeling like it's just like was hard to be in my body, because it was just like these things have happened, I guess, and I feel not okay with them happening. Like I want to maybe take back my text to Jill even in the first place, or I want to have like not have stuck with Jill for so long, or like going through certain experiences that I was uncomfortable or something, and then like just continuing to conform or go through the experience, and then like being upset about myself about doing that, and then like feeling like I can't undo it in some way, or like I've made myself small and being upset about that, and that like I can't take it back or something. And like it's just this like extreme overwhelm, because there's nothing I can do, because there was nothing I can do. Like I was just so uncomfortable, like there's nothing I can do. And yeah, I think I fully realized like it was like I'm not okay with the stuff, but like maybe just talking about the things out loud made me fully realize how fucking ridiculous it is to like I need to not judge myself and be like, God, you're so weird or stupid or ridiculous for even like worrying that Vanessa is gonna be there and be offended or have her feelings hurt when I'm like getting my hair done by the owner or something like that. Like there's a reason why I feel that way. I know where it comes from. I know the conditioning and the childhood trauma that I've been through, and I know why. But saying it out loud and just, I don't know, I just like feel so different about it now in a like fantastic way, where it's kind of like maybe it'll come up again, because sometimes these things I'm like, oh no, let's chill, whatever, and then it flares up again, or something else happens that triggers it, and it's like, oh no, or depending maybe on the day and how worthless I'm feeling that day, it's like a thing that I care about, and then other days I don't give a shit at all. It's like, how am I doing anything wrong? And like, who cares? And she already knew I wanted a certain cut, and that she wasn't even able to do it. Like, she knows that I still want that wolf cut, I guess. Just she wasn't able to do it. So like, it got so skewed in my brain. It actually got so built up to something it wasn't even. Like, now it's like remembering the facts of the actual thing. It's like makes so like just like, and even if she was offended and stuff too, that's the thing. Is like, if she for some reason, like, that's her, and she's the sweetest freaking lady ever, that was awesome. But it's if for some reason like someone was offended because I was doing what it, like, she already got paid, she did her thing, and so yeah, I did think like it would be rude. That she probably appreciated too, like, me not, she probably appreciated, this hasn't even fucking happened, it's not even happening. It's so nuts, this hasn't happened, but I'm like, she would appreciate me not going back to her trying to get her to do more or fix it and do more work, when she already said she was like, perspective is everything, folks. Perspective is everything. Like, I don't know why though, like, this happens, and it's like hard when you're in it, and it's like, it's not the end of the world, and I'll be aware of it. It's like, I'm not dying, but I hate, like, I can't deal with the present moment when I'm in it. I'm like, I just don't know how to release this or be okay with, I don't know. I just feel unwell, and I just can't not, but now I feel better. So we're good. And I found those excruciatingly painful, but like, obviously I'm being really self-deprecating. I'm still just not over that yet. I'm still just not comfortable, and not judging myself the whole time that I'm doing this. And I haven't really, maybe I haven't really done a live stream quite like this one, so that was like another layer of vulnerability in a way. And it is sort of like, it is a bit of a risk of like, oh no, am I gonna make myself even more uncomfortable if I don't make sense, like, go on a live stream and don't make sense and this and that. But for some reason, I do feel better currently, and I do think that I'm just gonna get to a point where it's like, it's exposure therapy, and that I'm going to just so take the risk, like, face the fears that, like, I just can't help but surrender to it. Like, it's just gonna be like, my brain is gonna be like, too many triggers to compute, too many triggers to compute. Like, it's not, it's like gonna be, it's gonna be like, it's gonna like relax, it's just gonna give up, because it's gonna be like, we don't have the energy for this. Like, we just can't even have the energy to stress and worry about or be triggered at all. So just, I'm kind of doing what's probably called flooding in exposure therapy, which is like, there's a risk, like, it can cause you to really, from what I know, it can like cause you to really just overcome your fear all at once, or it can cause you to get even more fearful, like just make the phobia a lot worse. Where I experienced this flooding kind of by accident with one of my phobias was like, I was like really, really afraid of lightning as a kid. I've mentioned this before. And then one time I just happened to have to be outside during it and deal with it and stay the whole time until the storm fully cleared and the sun came out. And this, because there was like other times, like, I'd be playing a soccer game or something, and my dad would just be like, get back out there, let's, like, what are you doing? Like, I kept like trying to like run off the field, being like, I can't do that. Like, I was like panicking, and that game actually did get called off because of the danger of the lightning. Like, before, this was happening before, and eventually we canceled the game. We didn't finish it because there was a risk. Like, I just was like, I was so terrified of, like, when I had that phobia, I would be, if there was a lightning storm and I wasn't, in the middle of playing a soccer game when it happened, I would be in the friggin' basement, like in a closet with a stress ball, like under the bed, just like, oh my god, is it over yet? Like, make it stop, make it stop. So for me, to that point in my phobia, like, be outside in an open fucking field with huge trees around, and I swear, like, where we were subbing, when you went off field, we were probably like standing on the tree roots, and I just knew you're not supposed to stand on the friggin' tree roots, these huge trees, and the friggin' goal posts are made out of metal, and I was like, I can't do it. So there was like no me getting over my fear at that point either, and like it was storm and this, and then the game got called off, and then we left, and so then like the fear got even worse or whatever and persisted. But like the time that I never was scared of lightning ever again, it went away forever, and I was actually sort of watching a soccer game. And I think the thing with this too is I had retreat. Like in the other situation, I didn't, first of all, and my dad, like, God bless him, he didn't understand, like, he was just, I have spoken like a little bit about, I think my dad maybe being a bit tough love with certain things like in my childhood, and just not realize, like, he just was like, yeah, not maybe taking it as seriously, and just be like, what are you doing, Alyssa? Like, get back out there, like, get back on the field. He was coaching my soccer game, if that, it's, yeah, I forgot to mention that. He was the coach. He was my coach. And so he was telling me, like, get back out there, and then that, but I was like, like, it was so terrifying. So I didn't really have an escape until the game was called off. Like, it was uncomfortable because, you know, I would kind of then run back out there in a way. Like, he didn't want me to come off the field. So, but the time that I fully got over it, I was watching a soccer game, like maybe my sister or someone, and there was like shelter I could stand underneath. Like, maybe there was a school, so there was like covering there, that I could stand underneath and feel protected, like, oh, the lightning's not gonna like come all the way around here and that, but I was still sort of scared in that. And then, yeah, because the storm, it went fully okay, like, it happened, and then the clouds, it went sunny, and it was beautiful and everything, and it was like, we didn't die. Like, my brain just learned, like, it just fully wasn't scared ever again. That was it for me. So I'm hoping that that's what this is for me. Like, we're just going through the intense part of the phobia, and the phobia, I guess, of like not being a people pleaser, like what's gonna happen if I'm not a people pleaser. But it is exhausting. It's annoying being a people pleaser and like overly caring and feeling the guilt and everything. So but we're working through it, and so yeah, this, I just don't know what else to do besides abruptly end this. Like, I don't know how to do the send-offs. I talked about it in the last one, I think, of being like, or one of the other lives, just like, I don't know. I get this, it's a trigger, everything's a trigger. It's like a trigger to what to say at the end to conclude, or how to address the audience. Like, you know, if you're going through this, I'm going through too, so I guess we're here together. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm so awkward. Like, thank you, I guess, for, like, don't ever feel pressure to watch, ever, ever. Obviously, and then I'm like, ew, why would I even need to mention that? Like, why would people, like, fuck me and my neuroticism. It's so annoying, but I just like hold so much meaning to what I say that, oh, what if that means this, or what if it's taken this way, or what if it's like, you know my deal, I think by now. Like, if you even want, you know how I, like, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Wishing everyone the best. This was interesting, and